Today's superpower is America. But did you know this nation was born through a brutal and bloody? There was no freedom, only British oppression, slavery, and endless injustice. How did 13 small colonies shake the mighty British throne? Why were hundreds of tons of tea thrown into the ocean? Today, we're going to uncover the chilling and true story behind the birth of the United States of America. The story begins on the 12th of October, 1492, when Christopher Columbus, searching for India, accidentally set foot on this new land. Soon after, European powers turned their eyes toward this fertile land. One by one, the Spanish, the French, and finally the British began to establish their presence. Between 1607 and 1732, the British set up a total of 13 colonies along the American coast. Although the people living there were under the rule of the British king, deep inside, a dream of freedom was slowly beginning to grow. But was that dream really so easy to achieve? In 1765, the British government imposed the Stamp Act on the colonies. From newspapers to legal documents, everything was heavily taxed. The people of America raised a powerful slogan: no taxation without representation. In other words, no taxes without a voice in government. Tensions in the streets of Boston reached a boiling point. Suddenly, British soldiers opened fire on unarmed civilians. This event became known in history as the Boston Massacre. That moment was the spark that ignited the fire revolution. Then came one of the most dramatic nights in history, the 16th of December, 1773, at Boston Harbor. In protest against heavy taxes on tea imposed by the British East India Company, members of the Sons of Liberty, disguised as Mohawk Native Americans, boarded 3 ships. In just a few hours, they dumped 342 chests of tea into the waters of the Atlantic Ocean, causing a loss of nearly 9,000 pounds to the British. When news of this reached England, King George III was furious. He was determined to teach the colonies a lesson. And from that moment, the real fight began. On the 19th of April, 1775, near Boston and Lexington and Concord, the first shots of war rang out. Ordinary farmers and laborers took up arms against the powerful British Army. With those first shots, American soil was stained with blood. The American Revolutionary War had begun. In this critical moment, George Washington was appointed commander-in-chief of the Continental Army. He faced the most powerful military force in the world, the British Army. Yet Washington carried within him unshakable courage and a deep desire for independence. On the 4th of July, 1776, representatives of the 13 colonies gathered in Philadelphia. Thomas Jefferson wrote one of history's most important documents, the Declaration of Independence. They declared, "We are no longer subjects of Britain. We are now a free and independent nation." Today, the 4th of July is still celebrated as America's Independence Day. In 1777, during the Battle of Saratoga, the American forces defeated the British, turning the tide of the war. This victory became a major turning point as France officially entered the war on the side of the Americans against Britain. Then came the decisive moment. In October 1781, at the Battle of Yorktown, George Washington's army, supported by the French naval forces, launched a coordinated siege that trapped the British Army. British General Cornwallis was forced to surrender. Finally, on the 3rd of September 1783, the Treaty of Paris was signed, in which Britain officially recognized the United States as an independent nation. On the 30th of April 1789, George Washington took the oath of office as the first president of the United States. The same 13 colonies that once stood on the edge of destruction had now become a united nation. Today, the United States stands as one of the most powerful countries in the world. In just over 200 years, it has achieved remarkable progress, from space exploration to technological advancement. This transformation was built through sacrifice, struggle, and a long, bloody fight for freedom. That is how modern America was born. If you enjoyed this documentary, don't forget to like the video and subscribe for more historical content. See you in the next journey of uncovering the unknown.